So this lesson is about how to use some formulas involving pyramids, spheres and cones that are given to you in your formula sheet in your exam. First one is the volume of the pyramid. It's a third times the base area, which is that green shape there, times the vertical height of the pyramid. The surface area, which is the area of the base plus the triangular faces. So you find the area of that shape, the area of that one on the back, that one on the side, that one on the front, and add them all together. So in addition to these formulas, you're also going to be using the area of a triangle one, half times the base times the height. Now a cone is a pyramid with a circular base. So it's the same formula really. It's going to be a third times the base, which is pi r squared, times the vertical height again. So it gives you the formula a third times pi r squared times h. Okay, now you can see, look at those three sides there. To work out the slant height or the height, you may need some Pythagoras Theorem at some point. Then there's the volume of the sphere, which is 4/3 pi r cubed, and the surface area of a sphere, which is 4 pi r squared. Okay, so the next few examples, I'm just going to go through how you use these formulas. So the first question is about working out the volume of the pyramid at the Louvre. Okay, so we've got a square base pyramid, so that's 35 as well. We've got a vertical height, which is 21.5. We've been asked to find the volume in meters cubed. Okay, so if we look at the formula we're going to use, the volume of the pyramid is a third times the base area times vertical height. So we'll start off by working out the base area. Okay, so that's going to be, it's a square, so it's just going to be 35 times 35, and that is equal to 1,225. Okay, so we've already got our vertical height, so this is quite straightforward. The volume of our pyramid is going to be a third multiplied by the base area multiplied by the vertical height. So we've got a third multiplied by 1,225 multiplied by 21.5. And stick all that into your calculator and you get your answer. It's going to be 8,779.166 ... So if you round that, it's going to be 8,779.2. So I've rounded to one decimal place. Okay, but you round it to whatever the questions ask you to round it to. Right, let's do the next example. So the next question, we've got a traffic cone. So we're going to need the formulas for a cone, okay, and we've been asked to find the volume and the curved surface area. So the volume is going to be quite straightforward. So the volume is a third multiplied by pi r squared multiplied by h, okay, so basically it's the third times the base area again times the height. Now this we got there is our height, which is 60, okay, and we've got our radius, which is going to be a half of that 25, because that 25 is the diameter, so our radius is 12.5. Alright, so volume is going to be a third multiplied by pi multiplied by 12.5 squared multiplied by 60. Again, just stick all that into your calculator, and you get your answer. So that's going to be 9,817.2 centimeters cubed. Again, I've just rounded that to one decimal place. Okay. Right, let's on to the next bit. So we're sticking with the same question. We found the volume, so now we want to work out the curved surface area. So the curved surface area of a cone is equal to pi r L, where L is the slant height. So L is that little diagonal kind of length of the cone there. Alright, so you can see, look, the height and that slant height and the radius form a right angle triangle. So to work out that height, that slant height, we're going to need to use a little bit of Pythagoras Theorem, aren't we? Okay, so there's our right angle triangle. We want to work out that length there. So if we just draw a triangle outside of the 3D shape. Alright, so we got that's 60, that's 12.5, and we want to work out our slant height there. So a little bit of revision for Pythagoras Theorem here for you. That's going to be L squared is equal to 60 squared plus 12.5 squared. So L squared is going to be equal to, if you just stick those numbers into our calculator, it's going to be 3,756.25. Don't round that number, otherwise you'll have a rounding error, remember. So L is going to be the square root of 3,756.25. Okay, now if you put that into a calculator, let's just, actually before we do that, let's just shrink that up so we get a bit of room. L is going to be 61.28825333607. We're going to use that whole number in our next calculation. If you round that number and then use it in the next calculation, we're going to end up with a rounding error, and then our answer will be inaccurate. Okay, so do not round this number. Okay, so a curved surface area, or curved SA, is going to be pi times the radius, which is 12.5, multiplied by that slant height, which is 61.28825333607. Put all that into your calculator, and you get the answer 2,406.7 centimeters squared. I've just rounded that to one decimal place again. Okay, like I said, I just want to stress, do not round anything until you get to your final answer to avoid any rounding errors. Right, so our next question is this one. A food colander is a hemisphere with a diameter of 20 centimeters. So basically a colander is what you use to rinse your pasta in. Okay, our diameter is 20 centimeters. Alright, and we want to find the volume and internal surface area, and it adds that little phrase in there, ignoring the holes, because then that just makes it a simple question for us, doesn't it? Basically we're working out the volume and surface area of the hemisphere. Get that word out then. And a hemisphere is half of a sphere. So you can see from the diagram, look. Okay, so look at our formulas for the volume of a sphere and the surface area of a sphere. Like in the exam, this would be the point where you flick to the front formula sheet and you look up these formulas. Okay, so your radius is going to be 10. So we start by working out the volume of the sphere. Okay, so the volume of the sphere is going to be 4/3 times pi times 10 cubed, and that is going to be 4,188.7902 ... Now I'm not going to round that because I want to find out the volume of my hemisphere, so it's just going to be volume of hemisphere, just write that there, was just going to be that 4,188.7902 ... divided by 2. Okay, I'm just running out of room here at the moment, so let me just shrink that work down. So you got that there, put that there. So my answer is going to be 2,094 centimeters cubed. Okay, now let's just shrink that down and put it up with the rest. Okay, so there we are. There's our answer done for the volume. So now if we work out our internal surface area, okay, so that means if you look at the internal surface area, that means we don't have to worry about like a circle lid on it. Look, it's a open cylinder. Alright, so let's do our surface area of a sphere first. That's really simple. It's just going to be 4 multiplied by pi multiplied by the radius squared, so that's 10 squared. And that gives us an answer of 1256.637 dot dot dot. Okay, so again then my surface area of that hemisphere is just going to be 1256.637 dot 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 divided by 2, so my answer is 628 centimeters squared. Okay, and again I've rounded that to the nearest whole number. Just shrink that down so it's a bit easier to read. Okay, so there you go. Very easy topic. Essentially, it's just looking up some formulas that are going to be in your formula sheet and applying them to problems. That's all. Okay, that's it.